Today, let's talk about working in Australia as an international student. Now, before we even go ahead with this video, I would like to talk about the visa restrictions for international students in regards to work. Currently, there are no restrictions for international students, which means that they can work even before their course commences or more than 40 hours a fortnight in any sector of the economy. But that ends on 30th June 2023. If you are an international student who is moving to Australia for the first time, what you need to understand is you need to get your TFN or ABN to work in Australia. TFN is nothing but tax file number and ABN is Australian business number. Now, if you ask what is TFN, TFN is a unique identifier that is given by ATO, which is Australian Taxation Office, to an individual, and it is used for taxation and superannuation purposes. So whenever you get employed, your employer is going to ask you to fill a TFN declaration form wherein you will have to input your TFN number and all of your other personal details so that the employer understands how much of the amount is going to withhold in regards to the tax payments. Let me know if you require a detailed video about TFN and ABN. Put it in the comment section and I'm going to make it in the next coming weeks. Let's get back to jobs for a hot minute, okay? There are 4 kinds of jobs, which is full-time job, part-time job, casual job, and a contract job. Today, we are going to talk about full-time, part-time, and casual jobs, and I'm going to also answer a lot of your questions that you have asked me back on Instagram. In a full-time job, full-time employees usually work on an average 38 hours a week and they are hired on a permanent basis. Now, do I recommend international students getting a full-time job? Currently looking at the visa conditions, I would say no, because as an international student, it is important for you to focus on your education, getting internships, volunteering, and maybe building your portfolio so that once you step into the job market, your demand is really high. Another important pointer I would like to point out here is the no restriction rule for international students in regards to their work is a temporary rule. So if you are looking to get a full-time job, you will have restrictions after 30th June, which means your job will be compromised. For a full-time employee, they are entitled to paid leave, which includes annual and second carers leave as well. Now let's talk about part-time jobs. Part-time employees usually work less than 38 hours each week, but their work hours remain regular, which means these are the kind of jobs that students usually take part when they are studying full-time. Usually, part-time jobs offer 20 hours a week, which again aligns to the student visa working rules. Part-time employees also get the same benefits as full-time employees in regards to annual leave, but on pro rata basis. Now let's talk about the minimum wage. The current national minimum wage as of 1st of July 2022 is $21.38 per hour and $812.60 per week, which is before tax. The reason I mentioned this to you is you have every right to get this $21.38 per hour rate whenever you are working. If an employer is promising you more than 20 hours a week but is paying you $15, $12, $18, trust me, it is not worth it and it does not align with what your visa says as well. Now, all this jargon kept aside, let me talk to you about the companies that hire part-time employees and casual employees, and we'll talk more about casual work as well. As an international student, if you are looking to get part-time jobs which is focused on customer service, you can always get hired by supermarkets like Coles, Woolworths, Aldi, or maybe fuel stations like 7-Eleven, BP, Ampol, etc. The reason I say customer service focused jobs is because this is one of the easiest jobs that you can get into and then improve your communication skills and improve your soft skills, which will be later useful for your full-time job. If you are really good in terms of cooking and you are really good at thinking on your feet, you can always get into fast food chains like McDonald's, Hungry Jack's, then a lot of them actually. If your communication skills are really on point and then you present yourself perfectly, you are always welcomed by retailers. Now, retailers like YD, Connor, Cotton On, Kmart, Target, and all of these people look for team members and crew members, so you can always get into this. I have interviewed for YD and I feel so badly. I'll talk to you about it later. sometime sooner, but yeah, retail jobs never worked for me. For all the jobs that I mentioned above, you need to go to the organization's websites under career section and start applying for jobs, give multiple video interviews, and I'm for sure letting you guys know that once if you apply, these are not those kind of jobs that you get a response from them and they immediately hire you. You need to give multiple video interviews. If you have references, please make use of it because they're there for a reason. However, there are also recruitment agencies that help you get into different kinds of jobs, such as maybe inbound and outbound call center, customer service jobs, and a lot of administration jobs as well. Recruitment agencies like Hoban, Edeco, Probe, DNA, Hayes, and all of these help you to get into those 9 to 5 sort of jobs as well. One of the most advantageous pointer that I would love to tell you guys, if you are going through these recruitment agencies, you will be working for bigger organizations such as Telstra, ATO, Victorian Health, and then you also work for Metro, V-Line, and all of these. These organizations usually add heavy weightage to the resume, and if you are looking to get into the job market, it gets quite easy because you have some reputed organizations on your resume. Some of the roles that these recruitment agencies hire for is customer service, traffic controllers, even staff, and then school crossing, road crossing supervisors, and inbound and outbound call center representatives, and all of these roles are usually hired by such recruitment agencies. As I posted on Instagram, I had a lot of you guys ask me, Sarvani, can we get into IT jobs as a part-time employee? I would say 100% yes. I do have a couple of friends who did this and they really got into good startups. They started working as a developer, designer, and all of these jobs in these startups, and eventually they built out their resume. Now, what they have done different from rest of the people who worked in a couple of odd jobs is they started to build their portfolio. They had experience even before they came to Australia. That was one of the plus, I would say. They had great communication skills. Now, what I really understand after staying in Australia for about 5 years is, though you have good amount of skills, it is important for you to communicate well and present yourself well as well. So I would always suggest, wherever you are working, please make sure you are communicating in English. That way you have your language built up and you are ready to go down that full-time job market. Another hot tip that I would love to give you guys is, whenever you are applying for jobs, make sure you are changing your resume and cover letter based on the job description. Let's say you are applying for 100 jobs and you heard no response. It's because your resume and your cover letter is not tailored according to the job description. So make sure you are always doing it in the right way rather than applying to n number of jobs, because that is not going to result in any kind of interviews. Any further questions about part-time jobs, make sure you put it in the comment section down below, and I might do part 2 for this as well. Let's now talk about casual jobs. A person is called a casual employee when he receives a job offer from an employer, but both of them understand that there is no firm commitment on the amount of hours that the employer is going to provide to the employee. Which means in week 1 you might be getting 15 hours. In week 2, maybe they call you only for a couple of hours. In week 3, you work for 10 hours. So there is no ongoing commitment of work. Sometimes it is not even necessary for these employers to call you for work as an employee because they don't need anyone. For example, if an employer is hiring a casual employee, it is quite common for them to change the roster of the casual employee, swap the shifts whenever required, and maybe drop down the shift as well. As a casual employee, they do get a pathway to become a permanent employee, and they also have 2 days unpaid carer's leave and a compassionate leave as well. Something that I would love to point out here is, if you are a casual employee, you usually tend to get paid a little higher than a permanent part-time employee and a permanent full-time employee, because the hours are quite irregular and you will be called whenever there is extra work. So as a casual employee, your hourly rate will be slightly higher than those permanent part-time and permanent full-time. I hope you liked this video. If you like this video, give it a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to wait until my next video. Bye.